Hello, guys. Welcome back to S3D. And this was an issue I had, but I no longer have this issue. Essentially, I think I talked about this a couple months ago about having a compulsive shopping disorder. Um, I think it started like in late October, early November. Uh, it actually cost me a lot of money, not from therapy. I tried a combination of online therapy and in-person therapy. I have medical insurance. Also, I want to talk about my experience with the online therapy situation. I mean, it's pretty much basically the same as the therapy that I'm getting through my medical insurance. The difference is my work actually pay for the online therapy, and essentially instead of talking to somebody in person, it's like talking to somebody virtually. And you know what? Honestly, a lot of the stuff that they were saying is like a repetition of what I go through anyway with the regular therapy. So I think if this is your only option, I think it can work. Basically, they give you some tips, idea on how to combat these thoughts because these thoughts it's kind of like obsessive compulsive disorder, right? Once you get triggered by these uh, things that you see on social media, you just get into that whole FOMO situation, and then in order to you'll be experiencing some kind of anxiety related situation, and then you had to go out and look for these things in order to alleviate your symptoms or something like that. That's what uh, the general gist of it. I'm not giving like any sort of advice about this whole situation because people's situation differs from person to person, and I also said I don't want to talk about mental health issues on my channel, so I'm just giving you guys an idea about this whole situation. So essentially, after having going through a couple sessions, I don't even need to take medication for this kind of stuff. In fact, I haven't taken any medication at all for years when it comes to this. I feel like most of this stuff is just, you had to, it's like for me, I had to just build up like my mental strength in order to overcome this thing. Like the medication, it's like when I used to drink alcohol, I become an alcoholic. It's ridiculous. It's like substance abuse. It really doesn't do anything. It's like having a problem on top of another problem. From my personal experience, anyway. So yeah, no more compulsive disorder, uh, compulsive buying disorder. I have not gone to a single Ross store in like 4 months now, since December. It's now March. So I didn't went there during. I think the last time I went there was before Christmas. I bought some stuff for some friends, but that's it. I also stopped going to Target and Walmart because I feel like every time I go there, it's just temptation. And the funny thing is, like, this is also social media. I'm cutting out social media as well. Stop looking at people's posts and stuff like that, because I was actually buying stuff that I don't really even collect, like 112 scale figures and all these like random stuff. During the holidays, I think I spent like $500 on like stuff that like I should have saved that money to buy stuff that I actually collect, but instead I was buying the stuff, and they were depreciating in value. So in the end, I basically gave all those things away as gifts to my friends who actually collect that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's like social media kind of make you like buy things that you kind of don't even care about. It's like it make me loses my focus. And yeah, so I decided, on top of the therapies I went through, I am gonna cut out all these things, and I said it's been successful. I really no longer care about any of these things. These are things that I don't even collect. And I've seen a lot of my friends who are still going through this whole struggle of dealing with these issues. They're constantly buying stuff that they never even open. Just sit in piles and piles, and then later down the line, they're like asking other people to do trades, and stuff like that, which is that creates another problem. But yeah, like 90% of the time, like a lot of my friends who are doing these things, I'm just actively trying to avoid them because they're trying to get me to trade for things that I don't even care about anymore. So it just becomes like this another issue where like I'm just getting really really annoyed by this whole situation here about all these collectibles. I know I used to hang out with my friend Rob, who are into these kind of figures, and after a while I just get really really tired of it. So yeah. Anyway, so that's the deal with this issue. I think we can put that behind us. My next struggle would just be dealing with social media, and we'll talk about that in the next part.